Oh my god, I can't believe I'm actually saying this, guys. I've said this like 5 times in the last 2 years, but that was the worst Bears offensive performance I've seen in my entire life. What's going on, guys? I'm back with the Chicago Bears post-game reaction videos. You can tell by the tone of my voice, I'm pretty pissed off. I'm pretty upset with my team. Guys, I fully realized that this was not going to be a contention year for us, okay? We were long shots to make the playoffs. We had a lot of holes on our team, and I fully realized that some games during this year were going to be pretty rough because we have a rookie quarterback, we have holes on the offensive line, we have, holes on the defense too, I thought. But to have a performance like this, only having 1 passing yard the entire game, 46 rushing yards, only 47 total offensive yards, an average of 1.1 yards per play. You let your rookie quarterback get sacked 9 times. 9 times, okay? And you lost 67 yards on those sacks, which that's why we only had 1 passing yard in this entire game. And Matt Nagy, man, you have officially ran out of excuses, okay? And I think personally you ran out of excuses last year. I wanted you to be fired last year, but I thought, okay, maybe now we have a new quarterback in here, another new quarterback that is very talented, that looks like one of the best quarterback prospects the Bears have ever had, probably the best quarterback prospect the Bears have ever had. And I thought that, okay, I'll give you one last chance, okay? One last chance, even though I've given you way too many chances. I'll give you one last chance to prove yourself, and you are completely failing that test, Matt Nagy, okay? And obviously, I have to say, before I rant about Matt Nagy, before I rant about the offensive line, I'll start out by talking about Justin Fields and his performance, because I fully realized, guys, he did not have a good performance, okay? He looked like a rookie out there. He was holding on to the ball way too long. Some of those sacks were his fault. I totally agree. But, guys, this was his first game ever starting in the NFL. You expect a rookie to make some mistakes because he is a rookie, okay? He's never seen NFL defenses. It's going to take him some time to adjust to the speed of the NFL, okay? You can't expect him to be Tom Brady in his first ever start. He's only 22 years old. And Matt Nagy, man, okay, getting to Matt Nagy now, you just completely put Justin Fields in a position to fail, like you've done pretty much every other quarterback that has walked through our doors, okay? The parts of our game plan that I just completely disagreed with today were, first of all, the runs on first down where you were just guaranteeing losing yardage, okay? That's the most predictable thing you can possibly do now, okay? Matt Nagy has this thing where he always wants to run on first down, no matter what, okay? Even if it's not working, he'll still go and run every single first down, and I don't understand why, okay? The analytics say that you should not be running on first down because, especially with a bad offensive line, you're probably going to be in a 2nd and 9, 2nd and 10, 2nd and 11 situation, and you don't want to be in those guys, okay? You want to gain positive yardage on first down. Otherwise, you're just wasting a down like we did the entire afternoon today, okay? Like we did the last game too, and the game before that too. Why do you want to run first down when it doesn't work, okay? So the runs on first down, I was totally against. I mean, I get trying to establish the run, but there comes a point where you have to try something new, and Matt Nagy completely refuses to adjust his game plan to the flow of the game, to what he sees on the field. He's been so bad with halftime adjustments. That's why we always score like 0 points in the second half, okay, even after we attempt to make our adjustments, okay? So running the football on first down, not a good idea when it's not working. Also, that play on 3rd and 2, I think it was, forgot if it was 3rd and 2, 3rd and 1 or whatever, but we could have easily gotten the first down, okay, with a variety of different plays that have worked in the past, and I think they would have worked today as well. But Matt Nagy decided to run a sweep to the left, I think it was, and might have been the right, but either way, we lost a bunch of yards, and we had to attempt the field goal instead of getting a touchdown, possibly, that could have changed the flow of this game, okay? After I saw that possession, guys, I already knew this was not going to be a fun day. But oh boy, even I did not expect exactly how bad it was going to get, okay? Because that was actually the best offensive possession we had during this entire game. That was the only offensive possession where we actually gained positive yardage, I believe, besides, I think, 1 in the 3rd quarter, which is just so extremely bad, guys. And I get that Matt Nagy didn't have a good offensive line to work with, which is Ryan Pace's fault, okay? So that part of the blame you can definitely put on Ryan Pace, but guys, Matt Nagy was not helping out Justin Fields at all, okay? He was calling so many curls, so many slants, so many possessions where he just put Justin Fields out there in shotgun, even though our offensive line was definitely struggling to pass protect, okay? So you could have put Justin Fields under center a little bit more, maybe get him rolling out, on bootlegs, on play actions, on stuff like that, where those are like so crucial for young quarterbacks' development, right? To help them see the field a little bit better, right? Because you're not going to be seeing the whole field at the same speed as somebody like Tom Brady, like Aaron Rodgers, when you're only 22 years old. So usually what a good coach does is he, adjusts his game plan to account for the lack of experience his young quarterback has. But Matt Nagy refuses to do that. He called plays today as if he had Tom Brady in the pocket, okay? As if he had, Patrick Mahomes there, okay? Because he just did not help out Justin Fields at all with this play calling, okay? There's nothing going down the field, which again, our receivers were not really gaining any separation at all today. So a bad game by the receivers too. A bad game by the offensive line, which I'll talk about next. But another horrific coaching performance by Matt Nagy, guys. And to only get 1.1 yards per play, guys, that is just so ridiculously bad. Even John Fox with the rookie Mitch Trubisky did not have an offense that bad. We are the only team, I believe, in the last century of football to have a yards per play in an entire game that bad. Think about that, guys. With how many horrible offenses we've had here in Chicago, this was actually the worst performance. Like, you cannot draw that up any better if you are the football gods who love to torture us Chicago Bears fans. So, in my personal opinion, guys, Matt Nagy needs to be canned. He should have been canned before the season, but I just cannot think of a single good reason for keeping him. With virtually every other coach in this league, they can gain yards on offense better than we can, okay? Even though they might lack the talent at quarterback, they might lack the talent at offensive line, but still, they can still move the ball down the field, and we can't in a league where every single rule benefits the offense. Like, that's the funniest thing about this all, guys. They have added so many rules in the last 5-6 years where, you can't even touch the quarterback anymore. You can't do this. You can't do that on defense. And it makes it so much easier to play offense. But the Chicago Bears it's not helpful to them because that's how much their offense sucks here. Okay, so horrible day coaching by Matt Nagy. He needs to be fired. This team is probably going to give up on him soon enough because the results are they're not there. Okay, and he's been here for a long time now. Okay, so bad day by Matt Nagy. Talking about the offensive line now, man. Look, okay, I get that you're going up against Myles Garrett, Jadeveon Clowney, good pass rushers. You're also, protecting a rookie quarterback that was holding on to the ball a little bit too long. But to allow 9 sacks, okay, for Germain Ifedi to play probably the worst game of football I've ever seen him play at right tackle, for Jason Peters to be struggling a little bit too, for our interior to be falling apart constantly. Our offensive line needs to apologize to Justin Fields for their performance out there today, okay? Because it was just downright putrid, okay? Getting pushed back immediately, false start penalties, holdings that just completely ruined our drives, and they just completely ruined the confidence of our young kid out there, okay? And that was just unacceptable, okay? So the offensive line, even though it looked a lot better the last game, okay, against the Bengals, going up against an actual good pass rush, they completely failed, okay? So O-line obviously needs some upgrading over the next few years. We do have Tevin Jenkins coming back next year, which should be a big boost because this guy was one of the best offensive tackle prospects in this year's class. Okay, so that's going to help. Larry Borum also is going to come back eventually. That should help as well. But still, okay, it's not a good offensive line right now. So overall, guys, that's what I have to say about the offense. Just one of the worst offensive performances I've ever seen, which again, I can't believe that, guys, because I've said that so many times in the last 2-3 years, and it just keeps on happening, okay? How is it even possible, Matt Nagy? How can you make gaining a single yard look this hard? And truth be told, guys, I just feel so extremely bad for rookie quarterback Justin Fields. We are completely failing this kid, okay? And you can see it on his face, okay? He knew every single possession that he was about to get sacked because he only had, according to this stat, okay, I saw on Twitter, he only had 0.8 seconds on average to throw the football. You know what that does to a young quarterback's confidence? It ruins it, okay? Because he's going to constantly be scared of somebody creeping up behind him, somebody there, somebody here. Like, that is not how you want to develop a young quarterback, okay? He's going to try to run around too much because he won't feel comfortable in the pocket. So, again, it is pretty early. I still think that long-term Justin Fields will be totally fine because, guys, he is still the most talented quarterback prospect in the history of the Chicago Bears. And probably once Matt Nagy gets fired and we actually hire, hopefully, a good coach, you know, things could look brighter in the future. But I just don't think it's going to work out with Matt Nagy and with this offensive line because he just needs a little bit of help, guys, okay? He is super young, only 22 years old. And by the way, guys, if you're giving up on Justin Fields after this game, just don't be a Bears fan anymore, okay? Yes, Justin Fields did not play well. Yes, he could have improved on getting the ball out faster, but he had no chance at all in this game to succeed, okay? And his team completely failed him. I mean, to be honest, I stopped watching this game in the middle of the fourth quarter, which I almost never do, okay? I almost always watch every single Bears game throughout, even if we're losing by a lot, just because you only see these like once a week, okay? And there's only 17 of these games. So I really cherish watching every single Bears game, but I just could not bring myself to watch this performance because it was that bad, okay? I already knew every play what it was going to result in, okay? It was either going to be a loss, it was either going to be an incompletion, or it was going to be a sack. And how do you possibly handle watching 60 minutes of that, okay? I couldn't, so I turned the game off early, which I'm not ashamed to say it because it was that bad. Talking about the Bears defense now, man, it was a totally different story on the defensive side of the football. And I feel so bad for the defense too because the majority of this game, guys, they're putting together a damn good defensive performance even though our offense was going 3 and out every single drive, okay? You know how hard that is as a defense to be on the field for that long, to still get the stops consistently, to get our pass rush going against the best offensive line in the NFL, which, guys, by the way, I mean, Robert Quinn, guys, he looks like his 2019 self, okay? That's probably one of the best developments of this entire season so far. He actually looks fully healthy. He looks like a great pass rusher, and that's resulting in a lot of sacks for this Bears defense. I believe, how many sacks do we have as a whole? So we had 5 sacks, 6 tackles for loss, and 6 QB hits as well, which is just a very good defensive performance for the pass rushers, okay? Both Khalil Mack, both Robert Quinn looked dominant out there. Khalil Mack also went in the locker room for a little bit, but he came back eventually, still had a good performance overall. Our secondary did have some struggles here and there, but they were also pretty good for the most part, okay? Jalen Johnson, this guy, you know, I wouldn't say locked up Odell because he did allow a couple catches. He allowed... Well, he didn't individually allow these catches, but Odell had 5 receptions for 77 yards, okay? But there was a lot of plays where Jalen just completely locked him down, okay? Going down the field, he was fantastic in coverage for the most part. And obviously, eventually, you are going to break, okay, when you're on the field for that long. So, Eddie Jackson also had a couple missed tackles. Deion Bush had a missed tackle too, so you can't be doing that, obviously. But, guys, I'm not going to complain too much about the defense because they kept us in this game for the majority of this game. We were in this game until the fourth quarter, even though we only had like 50 yards total of offense. That is a damn good performance from your defense, and our offense, as usual, completely let them down. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much all I wanted to say in this video. Definitely leave your comments down below too, like vent down below. I want to know what you guys have to say about this game because I'm sure it's kind of similar thoughts to mine, okay? I'm sure a lot of you want to fire Matt Nagy, which I totally agree with. A lot of you have also probably have question marks about Ryan Pace too, okay? Because our offensive line is not good this year, and it's not been good pretty much his entire tenure here in Chicago. So Ryan Pace also has some question marks, and McCaskey's, as usual, has some question marks too as owners because they've allowed this to happen practically every single year they have been in the NFL, okay? In the Super Bowl era, we have never had good offenses because of stuff like this, okay? Putting your quarterback in a position to fail with a bad offensive line, with a bad play caller as well. Going forward, like, I don't even know what to say, okay? Obviously, we have, I wouldn't say an easy game anymore because the Lions have also been very, you know, they've been keeping every single game pretty close. So we could lose to the Lions, man, if we put together the same offensive performance we put out there today. Obviously, the Lions don't have a good pass rush like the Browns do, but dude, with how bad our team performed today, like, I don't even know, okay? I'm not going to give up hope on the season. It's way too early. It's only been 3 weeks. Justin Fields could still turn it around. Our offensive line could still turn it around. But I don't have faith with Matt Nagy being here, okay? I have faith in Justin Fields, you know, being a good quarterback for us. I just hope the Chicago Bears don't ruin him because that's the trajectory we're on right now. Horrible, embarrassing game as usual by our Chicago Bears. Leave your comments down below, guys, but I'm not even going to say bear down today because that was bad.